Hello Earthlings, welcome to our stream. Today we are going to talk about how to talk about education and career in preparation for your exam. Stay tuned and we'll start soon. Welcome back again. So as you've just heard, we talk about this topic over here, that one over here, how to talk about your career and education on an English A-level in the introduction. This is very important because for every oral exam has got this introduction part. As you know, you start off with talking about yourself and you make the very first impression there. And there is only one first impression. So there are things you should remember in order to make a good first impression, and we'll start with the overview as soon as I'm able to use this piece of technology. Here we go. First, I'm going to give you a red thread through how you could introduce yourself in the oral exam. So every oral exam has it, as I just said it. So it's important that you practice it at home. You can do that very easily because I'm going to give you some phrases. First for the general introduction, then talking about your education as well as your career history. And then we'll practice it once live for you together with Christoph, who's over there. You can't see him, but you can hear him, and later on you'll see him. Right, before I start, actually the first impression already starts way before. So I'm not absolutely liking this thingy over here, but I will get used to it. Okay, back to the topic. You make your first impression when you come in, and it is very important that you don't come in looking like a ghost, for example, because you are that nervous. Just give your examiners the impression that you are a confident person and you are able to sit through this exam without breaking out in sweat or fainting or whatever. And just bear in mind always to sit straight, to look your examiners in the eye, to have a smile on your face, even if you think this topic is not the topic I'm actually confident with. Just give the impression, because then also they will have the impression that you have got an idea what you're talking about. Then you can start off with actually talking in English. First and foremost, what's always absolutely useful is say thanks. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to this examination, for example, or I've been waiting for this day for so long, and so on and so forth. Just say thanks in such a way, because that obviously gives a good impression that you are looking forward for this moment, and this is absolutely a good piece of advice for to start off an introduction. Then obviously you you introduce yourself with your name. You can decide if you give the full name or not the full name. For example, in my case, Dominic Mustermann, whatever. And you can should then follow, yeah, I'm 29 years old, where you live, for example, what your hobbies are, and or something special. So this is something I'm going to tell you quite often. Just imagine you're an examiner, you listen to loads of candidates the whole day. Give them a reason to remember you, a good reason, a funny reason, for example. You can tell them, yeah, well, hobbies, I like swimming, for example, and I enjoy playing the double bass, for example, you could say. And then you're, oh, that is interesting. How is that? And they are going to ask you a question, because it is an interesting question. Just imagine you meet someone in the Irish pub or somewhere, and that person tells you, okay, he or she plays the double bass. You're just like, that's interesting. And just imagine that this is quite a natural conversation. So give them a reason to love you. This is why I give you this heart. What's also important is after you gave the first general introduction when you talk about the present or the past. What do you do at the moment? What do you want to become? What are your plans after the A levels? So because you take the Matura, the A levels, because you want to study, for example, this and that, be prepared and always be able to explain why you want to study something. And never forget to tell why. You're obviously going to study somewhere in Vienna, in Innsbruck, in London, or in Great Britain, or somewhere in Great Britain, somewhere else, or Spain, whatever, due to a certain reason. Think of that beforehand and say it over and over and over again at home, because then you are prepared for this situation. You can practice that super easily at home because it's a monologue, and you can absolutely expect certain questions. And as I said, express liking, that you like the situation, like being here, that everything is good. So stay positive and optimistic and also convey this feeling. So now I've prepared some phrases that might be useful in this situation. And as I said, you can start off with something very nice. Hello, it's nice to meet you. So as a lovely and nice starter, and that expresses liking, that you're looking forward for this moment and situation, that you're in this examination situation or exam situation, and you enjoy actually being here because it's the last piece to your puzzle that you're missing at the moment to reach that goal you're actually aiming for. Then obviously these are phrases over here. Oh, that is interesting. These are phrases that you are familiar with, that you've heard obviously maybe in your school book years and years ago. My name is, I'm from, I live in, because you might be from somewhere else, but you live somewhere else. What do you do? Is actually the question English speaking individuals ask you when they want to know what kind of profession you do, like what kind of job you do. So what do you do is, okay, I'm a professional streamer at the Wi-Fi, you could say, for example. I'm 29 years old, you could say, and oh, there's a question mark missing. I'll just put it over here. Oh, no, it's gone. It's back again. What do you do in your free time? That is actually quite a frequent question in the introductory part. Give them a good reason why you like doing something. For example, I enjoy tap dancing because it gives me rhythm, and I like rhythm because rhythm gives me comfort, and I like moving my feet to certain songs, and so on and so forth. Give your examiners a reason why you enjoy something, why you like to do something, because then they are just like, oh yeah, that's interesting, and you show the competence, obviously, that you are able to talk freely without a single problem, that you are able to have a monologue about yourself in this moment, and you are absolutely free to say what you want to say. So really prepare. Oh, at home. You can absolutely do that. Like actors do that. They practice monologues over and over again, and you can do that again, because once you've got it, you have it forever. Even then afterwards in your post-matura time. Talking about the education, what's interesting, and also for the examiners interesting, I've been learning English for 25 years, whatever, or since I was in secondary school. So to give them a reason, okay, what kind of background do I expect? Obviously, you need to have a B2, and but this is an interesting piece of information for the examiners as well. I took courses in X and Y here at the Wi-Fi. So yeah, here at the Wi-Fi because you want to become, you want to follow a certain profession, and tell them why. This is also something you can practice easily at home. For example, I took courses in management because I want to study finance and management later on at university, because I'm interested in this and that. This is just improvising at the moment, but you can do that more thoroughly. So in more depth when you're at home, to really give your examiners, or explain your examiners why you want to become a finance expert, for example. You tell them, I want to become this and that, and really give them the reason why, because that's actually the interesting part behind it. That's what you do when you meet strangers in a pub. You tell them why you like doing something and also why you want to become this and that. This is also why it's relevant for this situation over here. Okay, talk about your career. So some of you might have been working already or worked in the past for 2 years, for example. I've been a shop assistant, I'll stick to that, for several years, you could say. That means actually that you're still a shop assistant. There is a stream on time and tenses in English, somewhere in the near future, I believe. Do you know? It's soon, I guess.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. I was a shop assistant from 2016 to 2018. This is like when you have a definite span of time and it's closed, you use the past simple. This is ongoing and still today. That's when you use this term. Or you could say last month I started working as a shop assistant, for example. And what's always interesting, I decided to make the A-levels or take the A-levels. Is it make or take? Take the A-levels. So let's get rid of it. Take the A-levels because I want to become AN, and always give them the reason. If you want to become a teacher, this is why you need the A-levels, and so on and so forth. And this is absolutely important that you remember that. This is really, you can practice that at home. And as soon as you practice it, you've got it in your veins and it won't go away. Right. What's always important is to react to your examiner's questions. Just imagine you're in a situation, in a pub, in a bar, somewhere. Obviously, someone is going to react to you with a question when you introduce yourself. And this is also happening in such a situation. So be prepared for questions. And as I said, examiners are sometimes bored. Give them something to laugh about. So if you've got something fun to tell, give them a reason, because it lightens up their mood. They might be less grumpy with you, for example. So that is always not too bad. Do not start off with an unfunny joke, but start off with maybe a fun fact about yourself, because that is something to create interest in your examiners. Right, and we are going to have now a look at Christoph, and if you... Yes, here it is. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. And we start off like in the demonstration exams. You have also got the situation that before you talk about the certain topic, you need to introduce yourself, and we are going to act out exactly that. So, Christoph, is it Christoph or Chris?
It's
Chris. We stick to Chris. Okay. Yeah. Nice to have you here.
It's very nice to meet you, and I'm very pleased to be here and take the A-level exam in English.
Wonderful. Could you please introduce yourself? So by now I just know that you're Chris.
Of course.
Chris.
So my full name is Christian. It's just a nickname from my best friends. They call me Chris. I grew up in Innsbruck and I went to school there. I am a passionate drummer. I play in several bands, so I like to play metal music.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
So really the hard metal stuff?
Yes. So I prefer death and thrash metal.
Really?
Yes.
And you play a lot of concerts here in Innsbruck?
Yeah. Not only in Innsbruck, of course, in Germany, in Switzerland, and.
So you must be quite famous.
Well, not that famous, but
because drummers are never that famous.
Well, mostly drummers are, but.
Okay. And what
they're in the background. So.
Yeah. Because you're here at the Wi-Fi, obviously, and what do you want to do afterwards?
Yes, I'm at the Wi-Fi because after I finished my school with 15, so I decided to become a mechanic.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, actually it was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, I had this feeling that the job isn't like, it's like just too boring for me.
Okay.
The job that I was doing is nothing for me anymore. So, and I decided to take the A-level at the Wi-Fi because a good friend of mine did the same thing. And he actually took the A-levels and then he started to study biology.
Oh, yeah. And so, you want to go down that way as well?
I wanted to. I was always interested in biology.
Okay.
So, and therefore I want to take the A-levels and then go to university in Innsbruck, or maybe since I have been living in Innsbruck my whole life, I wanted to be at another university, maybe Vienna or Berlin. I really like Berlin.
Yeah.
And
perfect.
Want to study biology. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to leaving you to sending you out to the world. Thank you very much. We move on with our next topic. Well done. Can I have this thingy back? Yes. Perfect. So the action part. He was very friendly at the beginning. Oh. Go away. Beibehalten. No, Jesus Christ. Technology fails me again. Okay, here we go. Okay, at the very beginning, it doesn't want to work because I wanted to write it down. What is up? There we go. Yes, now it should work. It does not. I give it a last try, otherwise I will just talk about it. Now. It won't work. Okay. Anyways, at the very beginning, Chris was very friendly because he was looking forward for this exam and he enjoyed it very much as well, and he had a smile on his face. Never forget a smile on your face. You only have one first impression, and that actually leaves the examiner in a good mood. And then obviously he started off, he told me about his age, that where he grew up here in Innsbruck and went to school, and then he gave me an idea of his hobbies. And there, as you have just experienced, he gave me actually something I was just like, that is interesting. I didn't even know that. And obviously that initiates immediately the reaction to ask a question, and that's what I did. And he also responded to that, and that was interesting because he was all around the place. So in Switzerland, in Germany, see, I can even remember it, and I didn't even know that he is that. Although yes, he is probably. And then afterwards, I asked another question. So why is he here to take the exams, the A-levels? Pardon me. And then afterwards. He was able to tell me that what's his goal in his life, what does he want to become, and he gave me really the reason to listen to him, and that was like a successful beginning of an oral exam you are also about to have sooner or later in your life. So by now we're at the end of our stream. We are going to see each other in is it next week already? I think so. Yes. Chris nods. Yes, with an exam. We are going to have a look at the topic family, as far as I remember. Otherwise, you'll see it in the stream somewhere in the description. If you liked us, leave us a like. I always wanted to say that because that's what the streamers used to say. But by now, I'm at the end of the stream, and I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a very nice evening. Goodbye, Earthlings!